All right, this time we now consider this compound inequality. There are three types of compound inequality. One is three-part inequality. What is this? Because there are three parts of your inequality there. We also have a compound inequality making use of or and. Okay. So here we consider a three-part inequality. We have 4 less than negative t minus 2 less than 9. For a three-part inequality, we have to always get rid of your numbers here in the middle to isolate your t or any variable. So here we have to get rid of negative 2, make that 0. This is now plus 2, right? Make negative 2 0, we add by 2. Also the other two parts. So for the three parts, you have to do plus 2. 4 plus 2 is 6. Less than negative t, less than 11. We're solving for t, but we have a negative t. So that means we have to divide all three parts by, is it a t or is a negative 1? It's a negative 1, right? So negative 1, negative 1, negative 1. What happens now? 6 divided by negative 1 is negative 6. And negative t divided by negative 1 is positive t. 11 divided by negative 1 is negative 11. But since we've used a negative 1 as our divisor, we change the directions. So this is greater, greater. But now we have a negative 6 greater than t greater than negative 11. But you can actually switch this. You can put the smaller number. Which one is smaller, negative 11 or negative 6? Right, so we can write this in different form. Or, okay, this is another inequality that we can write. We have negative 11 here, smaller. We have negative 6 here is smaller, I mean bigger. And then t in the middle. But now your inequality will now be this. Okay? Is this the same expression? Is this the same? Yes, it is. Look at the inequality. This inequality opens to negative 6 because negative 6 is greater than. But here is negative 6 greater than t? Yes. Negative 11 less than t? Yes. Is negative 11 less than t? All right. So that's how you write it. But these are both the same. They mean the same. But it would be more obvious that t is between negative 11 and negative 6 if you write here in this manner. Negative 11 being the smaller, right? And then, of course, negative 6 being higher. Because when you write numbers, you always write, I mean, in a number line, whatever number you have at the left is always smaller. It's always smaller than the number at the right, all right? So always make sure that when you write your inequality, it's consistent with your number line. Is this consistent with your number line? Yes, negative 6, negative 11, it's not. Might be confused that negative 6 is smaller. No, it's not. It's bigger than negative 11. All right, so I hope you'll take note of that. I hope you'll take note of that. And here we graph, right? So this is our first answer. We can also express this into a graph. What do you think is the graph of this inequality? The graph of inequality, sometimes it's a ray that goes to the left, goes to the right. Your graph can also be a segment, or it could be two opposite rays. Here we have a negative 11, smaller number at the left, and then bigger number at the right. And what's the graph? Negative 11 less than t less than negative 6, or we can say that t is between negative 11 and negative 6, right? So at negative 11, it's open. At -6, it's open. And the solutions are in between -11 and -6. And what's the graph there? What do we do to represent that in a graph? Okay, we simply superimpose this, connect the two open dots, all right? And that's our graph now. It's between -11 and -6. How about your interval notation here? What's the interval notation? Left member, what's the left member of this? Of the interval notation? -11 is the left member. How about the right member? -6. But now let's think of symbols. What's how we used to enclose this? Parenthesis, open parenthesis, close parenthesis. So it's the interval -11 to -6, open at both ends. So that's your number 7.